Okay, so Crested Gecko care video. We've got two Crested Geckos. There's Charlie there, who is awake, which is weird because they normally sleep all day. He's been surprisingly active today, walking about. Normally that's a nighttime thing. Oh, and Coco's also up. They're both males and they were together because every time you see these in a pet shop, there's like 10, 20 in a tank and they're all, getting on, so you think that they'll be fine. But woke up one day to a very weird noise going on and Charlie was biting Coco's tail. And a lot of the geckos we see, or the crested geckos we see in pet shops and at people's houses, have no tail because they drop their tails very easily. And crested geckos, unlike a lot of geckos, do not grow their tail back. They have one tail, and when it's gone, it's gone. And you're left with this little weird stump, and they look really, really weird, I think, without their tail. So we've really wanted them to keep their tails. So we've, and as you see, they've got their tails. We've been very, very gentle with them. We do handle them, but if they don't want to be held, we don't hold them, just because we don't want them to drop that tail. I don't know, this one doesn't really, no, he's not having it today. And farm geckos, again, when they want to be held, they'll be held, but if it's running away, it's obviously a little bit scared or skittish, so leave it alone, otherwise it will drop its tail. But if it does drop its tail, it's not going to cause any health issues at all. It's just a preference thing, I prefer them with the tail. Care or enclosure wise, I like things natural, so I have live plants in there. They do not need UV because they're a nocturnal species. They don't really need an external heat source at all. That's why they're so easy to look after. They don't need all of that expensive equipment, but that does depend on the temperature of your house. If you've got a very cold house, or you've got them in a garage or somewhere like that where it's going to be cold, I do recommend putting either a heat bulb in, but most people will just use a heat mat, and that should be plenty. Don't let them get too cold, but room temperature and your average warm enough house should be fine. All depends on where you live. I live in the UK where it's cold and crap. So in the winter we will need to put a heat mat in there. But most of the time during the year it's fine. Food wise, I've known people have had these and they've died. I don't know why they've died. They're supposed to be easy to look after. It's because they've not been feeding them properly. What's strange about these is that they don't eat, well, they do eat insects, and I give them insects. Especially when they were young, they're eating a lot of insects because they need that extra nutrition to fatten up. But the older they get, the less insects they eat. And in the wild, they often eat fruit and stuff like that. They sort of lick mushy fruit on the and stuff like that. They, as well as insects. So I actually feed them rapashi. There's lots of different crested gecko foods out there, different brands and stuff. Some are crap. They don't eat it, but again, depends on the gecko. And some of them really stink like piss. I won't mention certain brands, I can't remember, but I will stick with rapashi. Rapashi is the best brand. It's the highest quality. It's expensive, but it's in my opinion the best one. And there are lots of different flavours as well. I find the banana one really does smell in all brands. I don't know why. It's my personal view. I don't like the smell of it. It really stinks. It makes their poo stink as well. With bioactive tanks like I have, they require very little cleaning because they've got a layer of drainage in them. I've got some jungle soil and cultures of springtails and jungle woodlice, which are hard to get hold of as well, but they're tiny microscopic insects that will they never get out, and they'll just keep everything clean. They break down the poo, they eat the fungus, they're brilliant, and it causes very little cleaning. Drinking wise, they won't really drink from the water at all. There's no harm having a water bowl in there for the sake of humidity, because I do like it humid. But they tend to drink water droplets off of leaves and off their own body, when it rains. So you just mist them with a misting bottle twice a day. I often do it once in the evening as well. I sometimes only do it once, but as long as they're getting a drink every day, they'll be fine. I actually spray it on them and they lick it off themselves. That should be plenty. Handling wise, yeah, you can handle them, but be careful with them if you don't want them to lose their tails. they rarely bite. Like I say, one of mine bit once, and that's when he was very young, and it didn't hurt at all. It didn't, you know, not at all. So that's it really. As I say, give them lots of space. Make it look as jungly as you can. You know, a healthy animal is, you know, a happy animal will want a natural looking environment. So, you know, think about where they're from, and try to replicate that environment. These are from the you know, from the jungle, so they will need a jungle environment. You know, lots of plants make them feel at home. You know, because you're trying to replicate their environment in a completely different country. You know, these would not survive in the wild, so you've got to, and it's not just the heat and the food, it's the whole environment. You know, they're happier, they live longer, they'll keep their tails, and they'll, you know, may even lay eggs later on if we put females in there, if they are happy in their environment. You know, noise wise, they don't really make any noise. I've never really heard them making any sort of call or anything like that. However, at night they do like to monkey bar. They monkey bar across there. They're climbing all over the glass, and they run around a lot. So you can hear a lot of rustling if it's in your bedroom, and can keep you awake. But in general, very easy animal to look after. Any questions you have on these, pop a comment in the comments below, and I will answer any questions you might have. And that's the care video for Crested Geckos.